in many of its incarnations over the last 36 years to sing us a little song, and then we're going to talk to him about his career, how he got into folk music, his record label Waterbug Records, as well as his insights and concern about the prison system in this country. Take it away, Andrew Calhoun. Everybody listen up.
The harvest song for the season. Hey, you, it's all come true. I'm a last hope dangling. I'm a ripe peach hanging. I don't want to die on the ground. Don't want to die on the ground. Was I bud or was I fairy? Didn't I bring the spring in early? Didn't I dance in the morning air? This tree the supplicant and me the prayer. It's all come true. I'm a last hope dangling. I'm a ripe peach hanging. I don't want to die on the ground. I don't want to die on the ground. Pluck this body for your use. Plump and soft and full of juice. The summer's glory, the harvest's pride. Just toss my heart of stone aside. Hey you, it's all come true. I'm a last hope dangling. I'm a ripe peach hanging. I don't want to die on the ground. I don't want to die on the ground. I don't want to die on the ground.
All right.
Thank you.
Oh, Andrew Calhoun, what a great voice.
Well, you're
you've
destined
got.
to be a folk singer for the rest of your life.
Oh, I love that line. That's what got my attention about what you wrote.
Oh, boy.
When I saw.
Tell us that story.
Well, that's a pretty short story.
Speech? Well, I just got this award from the Folk Alliance Regional Midwest, which is a really nice grassroots conference. And it was for 25 years of service to folk music in the Midwest. So
Richly deserved.
So, yeah. I said, well, 25 years ago my marriage was breaking up, and my wife said to me, "You're just going to be a folk singer for the rest of your life." So that was my opening with a joke, and led to quite a dialogue with my ex-wife, who's actually a friend of mine. So,
is that Casey's mom?
Yeah.
And Casey, your daughter, and you played on this. Well, actually, what was funny was you came right after we had taken the stage down last year, and I'll never forget the look in your eyes as you looked at me a little like.
Are you kidding?
Oh yeah. Are you, really? Am I standing on the ground to play tonight? And I said, yeah. I'm sorry.
I think at some point we'll rebuild the stage instead of having these little platforms where we about break our necks every week. Climbing up here trying to cram all the guests onto the show.
This is cozy. I like this.
It is cozy.
Yeah.
Andrew, I just now saw the front of your book.
Yeah.
God, do you ever have guts? Like they said about the guy who jumped out of something about 25,000 feet up into the sky a couple weeks ago.
A lot higher than that.
Yeah, no, I have no idea how far it was, but the best comment I heard about it was some gal saying, "How did he fit his testicles into that suit?" So similarly, you got some
Katie.
you got some cojones,
Morning
baby.
radio.
It is morning radio, but it's Heartland morning radio.
Here's a picture of him with a stick in his mouth out, open, his tongue is out.
Yeah,
He's on a cow body, he's got wings, and he's got a big belly button.
Yeah.
He's half cow, half man. It's like,
Jennifer Jordan took the picture.
oh really?
And how did you get
It's
into
a different take
singing
on the
folk music?
centaur.
What?
Tell us the story about your mom bringing home the hippies and how you got turned
Oh.
on to folk music.
Well, I mean, my mother sang folk songs as lullabies. She sang us "I Gave My Love a Cherry" and "Swing Low," and even the cruel mother, she sang us as a lullaby, which is about mother stabbing her 2 babies to death. So I was certainly initiated at an early age. So those songs were around, But there's something, when you grow up with something, it's like you have to go back and reclaim it or relearn about it because it's so familiar you don't almost know it's there.
That is very true.
So,
wow.
but yeah, my mother was teaching in. We lived in New Jersey at the time, and she brought a couple of hippies home. They were certainly troubled and thoughtful people, and they had guitars, and I kind of gravitated to the guitar and to them, and I got my first guitar when I was 10, and my mother actually, my father was a philosopher and in his head a lot, but my mother would reach out to the world. She was an activist. She took us to bring coffee to guys on the picket line, and took us to actually a civil rights march in New Jersey. I think I was 8 years old, and I remember those people singing.
I love your mother already.
Yeah, I love my mother too. She was.
She's still with us?
No, she passed away in 2006. But
Wow.
There's 3 of us on this stage with no
We've
more
all
moms
lost our moms.
in
Yeah,
the real
yeah.
world, but we can commune with them, I'm sure.
She was still driving into tutor at Beethoven School till she was too sick to drive. So she really kind of put her money where her mouth was in terms of caring about people.
So from New Jersey, you came to Chicago. Tell us how you evolved into the guy that you are today.
Oh, I have.
We don't have that much time, Michael.
Well,
I
you were
mean,
supposed to
born
give us
to
some
it.
highlights. Casey.
Yeah, well, my father worked for Bell Labs and was transferred out to Naperville, so he still lives in Glen Ellen, and I grew up in that town, and I couldn't wait to leave. And oddly enough, I'm living there again with my dad, but it's all right. There's some nice woods out there, but I feel much more at home in this neighborhood. I lived in this neighborhood for about 30 years, and I love this place, you guys. Thanks for keeping this afloat.
oh, my God.
It just feels like home here. I just
Well, that's
love
good to
coming in
hear.
here.
It's really nice to hear, and thank you for saying that.
Yeah, but I wanted to kind of lead to this whole prison
Yes.
system idea because when my mother passed away, it was actually the night she passed, and none of this was planned, but we ended up singing for her for several hours, and we sang her some of the spirituals she'd sung for us, Swing Low, and All God's Children Got Shoes, and those spirituals are so made for those transitions, and it was such a comfort to that tradition, that African-American thing. It's really embracing the journey of death. It's not really defiant or afraid. It's just very accepting, and I needed that. And I started to do a lot of research on the spirituals and the whole history, African-American history in this country, which is all of our history, really. And I did a project called Bound to Go.
Say that again.
It's called Bound to Go.
Bound to Go.
African American spirituals and folk songs, and that led to some other things. I'll sing another song from that project.
Yeah,
this,
please.
This is from the Texas prison system. It was collected by Alan Lomax in I think the 40s. But it's a.
For those who don't know, Alan Lomax was a guy who went around with some early recording equipment, and he captured some stuff in an earlier age, and we are very grateful to him.
Yeah, quite a heroic endeavor. But I'll try to sing this high. This is call and response, so if you guys want to answer me, I'll sing With His Diamond Spade.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll answer me With His Diamond Spade.
And the audience,
So,
get ready to sing along with this
You just
one.
answer every line till we get to the chorus. But this is John's in prison and he's planning his escape, and he makes a pair of shoes with heels pointing in both directions,
And
so
we hope he's
they won't be able to
successful in
tell
his
which way he's running. With his diamond spade, with his diamond spade, with his diamond spade, got it in his hand. Gonna hew out the live oaks that are in this land. If I had listened, what Rosie said, I'd be sleeping in a rosy bed. I wouldn't listen, got to running around. First thing I knew, I was jailhouse bound. Well, John made a pair of shoes the funniest shoes ever was seen. I had a heel in front, I had a heel behind, and you couldn't hardly tell which way he'd gone. He's long gone, lost John. He's gone like a turkey through the corn. His long clothes on, gone. He's lost John. He's a long gone. Hear that, Sergeant?
Hear that, Sergeant?
Puffing and blowing. I believe I hear that bloodhound moaning. I won't stop if I see myself dying, 'cause I'm on my way to that long leaf pine, across the Brazos River in the morning dew. Yeah, goodbye, Sergeant, and the captain too. He's a long gone, lost John, gone like a turkey through the corn with his long clothes on. Gone, he's lost John, he's a long Good morning there, how do you do? Well, across the river, just to see you. Give me 2 or 3 minutes, just to catch my wind. Give me 2 or 3 minutes, and I'm gone again. He's a long gone, lost John, gone like a turkey through the corn with his long clothes on. Gone, lost John, he's a long.
Hey! Lost John. Oh, we're rocking and rolling over here.
Johnny, go.
I thought it was going to be folk music.
Andrew, maybe you should take Michael on your next gig. He got pretty wound up.
Show, I'm going to learn 20 tunes and get a backup band.
Yeah, I believe you, Michael. I believe you. All right, the trilogy. I mean, Andrew, you are one creative dude. You sing, you write, you
have a record label.
You started a record label, which we haven't even talked about. We're running out of time to talk about it.
We got 10 minutes.
We got 10 full minutes. So tell what people should hear. One, I'm going to buy this book today, the trilogy.
I was going to ask for a review copy.
Yeah, of course you are.
It started
I'll buy
out,
it.
that book exists because my friend Gary Martin said, you can download your entire Facebook history. I was like, I'm sure I've put up a lot of jokes up there.
You certainly have, and they're mostly puns.
They're mostly puns. And, so I downloaded the history. I was like, some of these are pretty funny. I'll make a book. And I started writing a lot more, and it's the most over the top as I can make it. Yeah, I've got a mock western in there called The Unbehoven.
Well, just it says at the back, Andrew Calhoun, songwriter, folk singer, serial killer, and poet,
I'm a
lives in the now.
Serial killer in the book.
A gated community.
Yes, I love it. So, what about the record label?
The record label, I started in. I got the idea for it in '92 at the Kerrville Festival in Texas. I started going down there. I wasn't hearing any songwriters in the '80s. I thought, has everybody gone into computer programming? I just wasn't hearing any songs.
Right.
And the whole sort of Chicago folk scene sort of died in the late '70s.
It sort of did.
And it was hard. And so I went to Kerrville, Texas, where there's a songwriter festival to see if I could connect with something down there. And I went down there in '90. I met Cat Eggleston down there, Steve Fisher the first year, and I kept going back. And there were a bunch of people writing some really interesting songs, and nobody had 2 nickels to rub together. And it seemed like none of the existing labels were that interested in. I felt like there was an artistic sort of renaissance going on, and people were writing new kinds of songs.
Was it in Austin?
Michael McNevin from California, just these beautiful tapestries, and these levels and this subtlety. And so I got the idea to start an artist cooperative label where everybody would own their own project, because people are putting out their albums anyway. But we sort of established a kind of a aesthetic. It's a kind of music people. How do I put this? It's too
Any way
early
you
for
want.
me to talk about this stuff.
Well, No, you're doing just
get up
fine.
about this time.
That's what he asked. He said, "What time? What unbeholden hour?"
People are doing
whatever
a kind of serious work with songs, and also people who do traditional music. And I think the quality that unites the songwriters and the traditional is that quality of quest and search. And for a songwriter, it's kind of going inside and asking hard questions. You know Anais Mitchell's work?
Which?
Anais Mitchell. She's a young writer. Boy,
No, I know.
you'd love her. She asks the hardest question.
Where's
the,
she
the
out
one
of?
thing you never want to look at. She just drags it out. She's from Vermont. She's in New York right now. But
So do you put out CDs, tapes? Do you put out actual albums? How does it work? I know my
people-
kids in younger bands, they're all talking now, putting out real albums again.
a vinyl?
Vinyl?
Yeah, the young
Vinyl.
people like the vinyl. We do CDs. Although
Yeah.
some of the young people have done vinyl. Yeah.
Yeah.
Rachel Reese and Anais made a vinyl album, and
So you are creating a highway for fellow artists to ride on and get their music out there.
I really
on.
like helping people get started.
Good work.
Who have a spark going, you know.
Good work.
And just say, well, yeah, you're good enough now. We fly really low to the ground, so I don't need somebody to have a huge tour schedule. or
I actually
money
had a
behind
dream one time. I was flying, and it was like a dog paddle about 2 feet off the ground.
it. Yeah.
He's flying low to the ground. It just reminded me of that.
That's
I mean, some people talk about dreams.